Episode 17 of Ryusoulger was a nice, fun little standalone episode that I rather enjoyed. It was mostly from a mechanical purpose, I don't know if that's the right term, a way to introduce Spino Thunder, which I'll talk about, but I think it gave us a lot of fun character stuff, and while it was fairly one-off in certain ways, we did get a little bit of deeper stuff that I wasn't super expecting. Because we start with the setup of just, this is an episode with a kid, and the kid needs help with something. But through the connection to the kid's teacher, we end up getting a little bit of Bamba's backstory. And while it doesn't seem to be a very deep backstory, like this doesn't seem to be conflict or relationships that have been driving his larger actions and words and the way he talks about things like kindness and bonds and stuff, it does feel like a piece with his ex-girlfriend from 50 years ago, it sounded like. But what was really nice about this one is that it's the first episode where Kanalo is working with the team, friendly with the team, and there's none of that tension of, is he going to work with us? It's the first episode where he's essentially a member of the team. And what I really liked about that is that it's room to just play with the way the personalities interact. And you've got, his kind of uptight, I only take requests from women attitude that he immediately falls back on the second he realizes he disappointed a child. He doesn't know how rainbows are made. But he did live underwater, so that makes sense. And that was an interesting little thing. Like, yeah, he wouldn't know that because they don't have those down there. We get the team calling him out for wanting to help more readily when there's a beautiful woman involved, and I like that they're kind of tripping up his what could be womanizing, I'll say, before he can even get there by calling him out on it. And I think that's a safe way to handle a character like that, so as to not make him maybe end up being accidentally kind of gross or something like that. I also think in general, Bamba and Kanalo being the duo was very interesting, considering they haven't really interacted, and they didn't do much talking during his introductory arc. So I think that was a cool pairing to throw right out the gate at us. They're different characters in a lot of ways, but that little tether of a bond with someone, and it being Kanalo with Mosa Rex versus Bamba reminiscing about this relationship he had, making those different kinds of relationships equivalent in meaning is actually a cool little thing, because, it doesn't pump romance above other relationships, which can be a problem in a lot of media, Western or Japanese, honestly. From an action and an aesthetic standpoint, fun action. The Minosaur, based on a ghost ship, was actually really cool. The sand stuff was really funny, especially when Tiramigo's trapped and Ko's upside down. That was just a fun little diversion. I loved Tiramigo getting shot this is just sand, and then he gets shot a ton and just, this is also sand. And getting in the joints was just a little way to mess with the fight. Spino Thunder is dumb. I'm sorry, that is the only way in my mind I can really classify it. When I saw the toy images of it from magazine scans, I was like, I see what they're doing and it doesn't look good, but they could use CG or make a different suit or prop that is more streamlined and more proportional. No, it looks like the toy in the worst way. Man, that's a bad looking Spinosaurus if you want to call it that. Oh geez. I will say Dime Volcano and Mosa Rex being brothers and bonding like that is a really nice little touch. Lightning and fire together are a very cool and destructive combo. I liked in battle when they were fighting, it was just kind of, we've got this, and then they just attack everything. They even kind of graze the main characters in Kishiryu. It's a cool functional thing, and I actually like it for the characters of Dime Volcano and Mosa Rex, but it does look quite dumb, and there's no getting around that one, and I'm glad that we're pretty quickly gonna get to new combined mecha. I also enjoyed seeing Kishiryu Tiger Lance again. They did inhibit it with the sand thing, but there was a reason And by the time they were done, going to the finisher made sense. So I actually wasn't too sad that we missed out on like a full fight scene with it. But it was just cool to see that combination again. I'm glad that they fell back on an old combo, but it was out of necessity. Because with Toku, you can sometimes get it where they have an obviously stronger power-up that they're not using because they aren't. And that's about it. You know, I just watched more recent episodes of Kamen Rider Zio as I'm recording this, which were episodes like 42 and 43, I think. And there was a fight where Sogo had used Zio 2, and he gets the Grand Zio watch stolen from him. And it's like, well, you should have used Grand from the get-go. Like, that's your problem. So I like that they have reasons here to use a combination that could be weaker than maybe using Five Nights or, even just bringing in Dime Volcano or something like that. On the villain side, Weisel is back. I love him. He's such a good villain because he's tricky, he's conniving, he's very good at deceiving people, but he's also hilarious and incompetent in a few ways. You know, the hypnosis was through sheer confidence that it was working, and that was a failure. And once Spino Thunder happened, he was just had that little like, this is overkill, I think, moment, and they just wrecked him. Oh my god, I love him. I thought it was interesting that Creon, when he was mourning the loss, well, not really mourning, but he was talking about Gachileus being gone and not knowing where Weisel was, he screamed out for Tank Joe. And I don't know if that means he liked Tank Joe the most, or if maybe he just worked with Tank Joe the longest. I'm not sure, because even though Weisel does give him shit sometimes, Weisel has treated him the best if you had to pick between the three. It is also interesting that it seems like Gachileus is dead. I wouldn't mind if he came back and he's not actually dead. But I do love Weisel. He is my favorite of the main Druidon so far, and I really hope he does hang around the longest. I still think Creon will end up being the villain who is there for the entire show. I still am not placing bets on if Creon becomes the main villain, or if Creon is just there for the main villain. And maybe, I would say maybe Creon could survive after the final battle, depending on where life puts him at that point, but that's very far ahead, speculating. Otherwise, it was a pretty succinct, simple episode, some good messages, some good character stuff, fun action, fun villain antics, a solid one-off, nothing crazy plot-wise, but it didn't feel empty, it didn't feel like, well, we have to put out an episode. So, once again, good time with Ryusoulger, good time with this cast and these characters, and I am really excited to keep going. And coming up, we've got some more toy stuff, some bigger mecha coming. It looks like they're gonna kind of finalize Kanalo's integration into the team, and that's gonna be a really good time. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you are enjoying the show as well, and until next time, I will catch you later.